Hi everyone. For today, I'm going to walk you through on how to create a simple RESTful API using ASP NET Core in Visual Studio. So by the end of this session, we will be having a working get API endpoint that can perform the get request. It is This video is perfect for beginners who just want to understand backend fundamentals. So this is the simplest on how to have an RESTful API endpoint using ASP.NET Core in Visual Studio. So in my case, I'm already in my Visual Studio. So let's just click on create a new project. And then in this case, we will be just searching for the ASP.NET Core Web API C Sharp. So it has two options, so don't be confused. It has the C Sharp and the F Sharp. So we will be using the C Sharp. So just click on next, and then let's just name this as backend uh, AP, API endpoint. There you go. So it is up to you if you want to place the solution and project in the same directory. So in my case, I love to place it in one directory or in the row also. So just click on next, and then the framework is up to you if you want to use .NET version 9 and .NET point 8.0. So in my case, I love the .NET version 8. And then in this one, you can also enable container support if you want to run this application through Docker. So in future videos, I'll be teaching you on how to make a Dockerized ASP.NET. So I would like to enable this one. So in your case, you can enable it or disable it. So I'll just click on create. So let's just wait for Microsoft Visual Studio to create the project. So in this enable container support also, a tip, it will already create a Docker file. So let's just wait. It is still opening in my end. There you go. It is now open. So let's just click on access one. There you go. And then as you can see, it gives us this I text editor. It is open. So in the right side, you can see the Docker file is already created here because we enabled the container support. But if you didn't, Microsoft Visual Studio will not add this file for you. So as you can see, the things that we will be needing here is the controllers, which is this one. Let's just open it. It gives you in this part, you will be modifying the endpoints. This is where you will create other requests or like response that you want. So you can do post, delete, and edit. So it is the simple CRUD operation. This is where it happens. So here, as you can see in this get weather forecast, this is the model. So it is up to us or developers on how do we want to structure the file, but make sure to uh, it is mostly on personal preferences. So as you can see here in the weather forecast controller, it already has some of the data like default data for us to test the API. So in our case, we can run ASP.NET in this part. Let's just click first on the drop down and then just click on HTTP. So in my case, there's a pop-up run of container Docker file. So it will create uh, a build for the Docker desktop and then it is already good to run. So just click on HTTP and then click on the play one. Then we can go to our browser. Let's just wait for it to open. There you go. It's still running. Then, as you can see here, we pop up with a UI interface, which is this one, Swagger. It is already built in Microsoft Visual Studio. So I also already included it in the package. That's why it has this UI interface. So as you can see, this is the project name that we created earlier. And this is the endpoint that we already created. So if you are a totally beginner, so congrats, you've made your first API endpoint using .NET. As you can see, we can try it out also to execute. So when we try to execute this one, so you can see this is the request URL. And then this is the response body. So this is the data that it is being given by Microsoft Visual Studio. So we can also try to test it in Postman. So for us to learn another software, we will be needing Postman also for testing some API endpoints. If we want to jump on another language like PHP, Java, we can use Postman for us to test the API endpoint. So for this one, we will be just clicking on the add, and then for this one, it's up to us on what a request that is we will be needing or method. So in our case, it is get, like on the Swagger one. So for the enter URL, so this is the URL that we will be using. Go back again to the Swagger. Just copy paste this first one, localhost 5204. Then there you go. Then go back to the Postman, then just paste it. And then after that, we can just go back again and get the slash weather forecast. There you go. And go back to Postman. There you go. Let's just type this one. So I'll give you an example that we didn't touch on some videos. So when we create this one, it already show the endpoint. So but in other case, you can go to the headers and just click on accept. And then in the value, just put application JSON. So this one is important if we go more in depth in using API endpoints and just click on send, it will still give us the response data like the one Swagger given to us. So I think that's all of it in creating our first or simple REST API, which is always on which is just the get method of the function. So we in future videos I'll be teaching you more on how to do posts. So I'll be creating a code for that one for us to understand it more. So I think that's it for now. I hope you've learned something in creating your first and simple REST API using .NET. So that's all. Thank you.